Hi everyone, my name is Donnie Sand. I am doing my part of our project for our international health class. I was selected to talk about the new characteristics, signs and symptoms, causes, and some basic stats about the new Ebola virus that is in the Democratic Republic of Congo in Africa. I first want to talk about how this strand of Ebola is slightly different than the original outbreak that was in 2013 to 2016 in Western Africa. This began on August 1st of 2018, where the first confirmed case of the Ebola virus was in Kivu, which is a territory in the DRC. It's now spread to Uganda, where they've had only 3 cases, and it's already been taken care of. But it did spread into their neighboring country of Uganda. By November of 2018, it was described as the second largest Ebola virus outbreak in history, following the 2013 to 2016 epidemic. And on May 3rd of this year, the death toll surpassed up to 1,000 victims. There's been plenty of conflicting organizations and conflicting aspects of this virus that make it difficult to get a hold of and to eliminate. The biggest one is the military turmoil that's happening in Africa right now. Since 2015, the DRC has been experiencing a military conflict which inhibits treatments and prevention of the disease. The World Health Organization describes the outbreak and military conflict as, quote-unquote, a perfect storm. There's been 42 attacks on health facilities and 85 workers have been injured or killed. And because of the outbreak and the civil turmoil, the World Health Organization has raised the risk assessment for the country from high to very high, and that was in September of 2018, just a month after the first cases were found. The DRC Ministry of Public Health confirmed that the new Ebola outbreak is caused by a Zaire Ebola virus species. This is the same strain that was involved in the early 2018 outbreak in Western DRC. This Ebola virus strain is the most lethal of the 6 known strains, including the newly discovered Bombali strain. It's fatal up to 90% of its cases, and both Ebola and Marburg virus are part of the Filoviridae, I don't know if I'm saying that right, family. This filovirus genome contains 7 genes, including the VP40. The natural reservoir of the virus is thought to be an African fruit bat, which is used in many parts of Africa as bushmeat. The viral mechanism has a significant part of the actual Ebola virus infection is based on immune suppression. So when an individual is infected, the pathophysiological process indicates that a systematic inflammation sets in, and there's coagulation problems. When you have coagulation problems, multiple systems can be shut down due to ischemia or lack of oxygen, and as well as vascular and the aforementioned immune system issues. There's been the contact tracing is a way of identifying who has been in direct contact with the infected individual and are thus at a higher risk of becoming infected or infecting others. Such individuals are monitored for up to 21 days in the case of the Ebola virus. There's been a whole bunch of different regions. There's been 29 health zones that have been found to be the most seem to have the infection of Ebola virus. The most prominent one is going to be Mandima and Katwa. There's also Kalunguta and Komanda. Those are the 4 biggest territories with the most confirmed cases of Ebola. In terms of signs and symptoms, aside from the possible effects of post-Ebola syndrome, there's also the reality of survivors returning to communities, and they might be shunned due to their fear and many have in the respective areas of the Ebola virus. Hence, there's a psychosocial assistance is needed. Per the World Health Organization, the current outbreak has left about 1,000 survivors. Some other signs and symptoms of Ebola virus is going to be joint pain, muscle pain, chest pain, hearing loss and hair loss, memory problems, anxiety, and vision loss. And then just to conclude, I have a couple stats. There's been 3,123 confirmed cases. There's 116 probable cases, 420 suspected, and then there's been 2,169 deaths, which gives us a case fatality rate of 67%. And that's as of October 20th of this year. So as we continue on this video, you're going to hear more about the Ebola virus in the DRC. Thank you.